Hello everyone. Today, welcome back to this video. We will be doing 1.4 plants need water and the right temperature from the Cambridge Primary Science Learning Year 3, for which is like and plants and now we're going to I'm gonna screen share it. So we're going we're going to investigate how plants need water to be healthy. We're gonna see how plants need the right temperature to be healthy, how water moves up through a plant stem. We're gonna measure using standard units, make predictions and see if they are right, make a conclusion from the results, read results from a bar graph, and look for the patterns in these results. Why getting started? This is the question. Why might plants in both pictures not have enough water? So we're going to look at the pictures. Some plants in both of these pictures might be short of water because in a hot environment like this picture on the left, because there is very little water, and in a very cold environment like on the right, the water is all frozen, so the plant cannot absorb any water. So the keywords are freezes, level, and survive. All plants need water. Every part of a plant needs water. Water is absorbed by the roots from the soil. Look at the diagram to see how water moves around a plant. Without water, plants will wilt and die. Leaves lose some water to the air around. Leaves use water when they make food for the plant. The stem transports water to the leaves and flowers. The roots absorb water from the soil. The roots transport water to the stem. So we're just going to label it to see which one comes first. I think this comes first. This is number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. This is number 4, and this is number 5. Think like a scientist. 1. How much water do plant stems use? You will need a narrow jar, 5 leafy stems, water, a ruler, and sticky labels, or a marker you can just mark on. Place the stems into a jar. Use a ruler to measure the height of the water. We call this the level. Predict what will happen to the water level after 5 days. Mark the level at the start. Measure and mark it at the same time each day. Record how the water level changes. Will you use millimeters, centimeters, meters, or just make a mark on the label? Which is best and why? I'm going to answer this, but I'll give you 10 seconds to figure it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I went over 12. 10. So time's up. Ooh. It is best to use milliliters or this sign, which is 2 M's, to measure the water because that allows us to measure small changes. Now, these are some questions that you'll ask yourself. What happened at the end of the test? Was your prediction right? Have you answered the question? How much water do plant stems use? What kind of science inquiry was this? I'll answer this one. The science inquiry was an observation over time, which means you have to spend a week or in this case it's 5 days, and you have to look every single day, and then you can see small changes. Looking at a bar graph. Sophia did this investigation and found and recorded what happened in a bar graph. Start you fill it up all the way like this. I think it's 20 centimeters. On day 1, there was only 19 centimeters. Okay, let me just mark this. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, and 13. What happened to the level? What happened to the level of the water on days 1 and 4? On day on days 1 to 4, the water went down 1 centimeter each day. Number 2, what changed on day 5? On day 5, the water level dropped 3 centimeters in one day. It dropped more quickly than the days days 1 to 4. Why might have this happened? This might have happened because there could have been a hole in the container, or the conditions have maybe warmer. Number 4, what happened over the 5 days of the test? Over the 5 days, the depth of the water went down because the plant stem was using the water. Plants need the right temperature. Some plants live in cold places and some in hot. If it's very hot or very cold, plants cannot survive. Too much heat or cold can kill them. If it's too cold, a plant's foods cannot make food. Water freezes, which turns it into a solid, and plants can't use it. If it's too hot, the plant may have no water. Roots, stems, and leaves can dry and break. Think like a scientist too, which is an activity we're going to do. Plants need the right temperature. You will need 15 seeds, 3 plant pots, soil, and a thermometer. You don't have to do this at home, but we'll just see it and we'll learn from it. Sow 5 seeds into each pot. Cover the seeds in soil and give them water. Place the pots in different places, one warm, one at room temperature, and one in the cold. Take the temperature in each place, keep them watered, and don't let it dry out. Plan pot 1 will be hot. This one will be cool. This is a comparison over time type over science inquiry, because we are comparing the growth. Wait, cut that. Continued. Predict what will happen to the seeds in each pot. Will they start growing at the same time? Will they grow well? Observe them at the same time each day and record what happens to the seeds in a pot. Will you draw them? Will you measure them? Will you record this on a table or graph? What kind of science inquiry was this? Explain your answer. This is a comparison over time type of science inquiry, because we're comparing the growth over the plant over several days. This is a fair test because the seeds are sown and grown in similar ways. Only the place they are grown is changed. Next, water can move up tall trees. Some trees are over 80 meters tall. Some water has to travel all the way to the top. Water travels in a lot of narrow tubes in the main system and goes to every leaf. So roots are very important to get water. Think like a scientist 3. How does a water move up a plant stem? You'll need a cup of water, food coloring, a dropper, a teaspoon, a white flour, celery, a clock. Look at diagrams 1 and 2. 1. So in diagram 1, they use, and it's what you need, a apparatus, which means the stuff you need, but just a scientific term, a knife, celery, a container of water, a dropper, a white flour, food coloring, and number 2, place the celery in the flour in the water and add a few drops of coloring. And I think you have to wait because there's a clock. Put the flour and celery in a pot of water, add a few drops to predict what will happen. Observe the pot for a day or two, make drawings or take photographs to put the prediction correct. What does this tell you about the water inside the plant? So basically, the reason they put it inside is to see how water absorbs. When water is clear and when something takes up water, you don't really see it because it's clear and you don't see a difference. But when you add food coloring, you can see that it goes up celery. It goes up the celery or the thing, and you'll see that it's blue. And the type of science inquiry is an observation over time. We do lots of observation over time. Continued. How am I doing? A friend asked you to look after a small potted plant for a week. How much water would you need to give it? How do you know this? A small potted plant for a week would need 1 or 2 cups of water. Learners know this because they have been watering plants in this unit. So they know a spoonful would be too little and 4 cups would be too much. Check your progress. Look what I can do. I can investigate. Look what I can do. I can I can investigate how plants need water to be healthy. I know that plants need the right temperature to be healthy. I know how water moves through a plant stem. I can I can measure using standard units. I can make prediction and see if they're right. I can make a conclusion from the result. I can read results from a bar graph and look for patterns in these results. Project. How do plants use water? Make a zigzag book explaining the water of the journey through a flowering book. So basically a zigzag book means you have to fold it. You have to fold it like this. So here's a piece of paper. You must fold it once and then the other way and then fold it into like, I think there's 4 here. Yeah, there's 4. That's what they mean by a zigzag book. A zigzag book is like a fold-up poster. You need to draw and explain how water is in the soil, is observed by the roots, moves up the stems, and is used in leaves and flowers. Start by researching in books or on the internet, then write and draw diagrams to explain what happens to water in a plant. Use arrows to show how water moves up in a plant. Open the book and watch the poster grow. That you can do at home. If you don't want to, that's okay. Check your progress. Talk about these questions, complete these sentences. You can use these words. So I'm gonna give you a bit of time. I'm gonna give you like 3 to 5 seconds, and then I'll answer. Number 1. I know this eagle is blank because it blank. I'm gonna give you some time. I know this eagle is alive because it can have young or it can reproduce. Done. I know this candle is not alive because it cannot have young. Here's a flowering plant. Copy and complete these sentences. I'm gonna give you some time. What is A? 1, 2, 3. A is the root, these roots. I'm gonna give you for B, this part. 1, 2, 3. B is the stem. I'm gonna give you time for C. 1, 2, 3 is the leaf, and D is 1, 2, 3 is the flower. Okay, it is continued. This is like kind of like a test after every chapter, because after every unit, so we'll finish with ones like 1.2, 1.1, 2, 3, 4. It's finished. We're going to move on to 2. Copy and match the sentences using the missing words. You may use each word more than once. Plants have 1, 2, 3. That's the time I'm gonna give you. So I'm gonna count up to 1, 3. 1, 2, 3. They have roots that are underground. These hold up the plant and observe. 1, 2, 3. Water or nutrients, but we'll teach you that later. We'll learn that later. The water is transported to the 1, 2, 3, the stem, then up the plant to the 1, 2, 3, to the leaves, and 1, 2, 3, the flowers, the 1, 2, 3 leaves make food for the plant. The 1, 2, 3 flowers are the place where seeds are made. So basically the reproduction part. Which two of these does a plant need for it to grow? A plant needs blank and blank to grow. Let's start. Water. It definitely needs water. So yes, it does need. We're gonna put water as our option. Bread, no. Plants do not eat human food. They do not eat bread. Only we might need bread, but we don't need it to live as well. But to grow, yes, for us, but not for them to grow. A plant pot, not necessarily. So no. Sunlight, yes. Continued. Number 5. Luz and Chen are planning an investigation. Number 8, what are they investigating? I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to figure it out. By looking at this picture, you're going to see 1, 2, 3. Number 8 is the answer is whether plants can grow in the dark without light. Number B, I'm gonna give you 3 seconds. The question is, what should they keep the same to make it a fair test? 1, 2, 3. They should keep the water, temperature, plant pot, and soil to make it a fair test. To make it fair testing. Number C. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. The question is, predict which plant will grow best. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The answer is the plant in the light, because plants need light, water, and carbon dioxide, which is important. Okay, and we're finished with all of Unit 1.4. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for doing Unit 1 with me, and thank you for doing the check your progress with me. It was long, but it's worth it. So in our next topic is 2.1, which is basically mixing materials. That's the topic about. It's about solids, liquids, and gases, and we'll learn that in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. Bye bye.